Devil Survivor 2, Episode 9. This one's called Thursday of Shock. This was a bloody good episode. Oh my god, this one was epic. There's a bit at the start with Alcor, the Anguished One, and Hibiki and Daichi and Nita, and Daichi and Nita walk into Haruto's room, and Alcor's in there. Alcor just says, before that happens, Alcor says to Hibiki, I'm just going to stay in this room. I'm just going to stay here. What the hell? And so that's going on, and Hibiki's trying to explain to Daichi and Nita that Alcor, I mean, yes, he is a Septentrian, but he's not an enemy. It's complicated. It's weird. So that's the sort of explanation at the start of the episode. It's been a while since I've seen this episode, and quite embarrassingly, I can't remember what happens in the middle of the episode. Oh no, sorry. Yes, I can. There was that big Septentrian that was in space, and they have to defeat it, and it was quite a quick battle. Irie and forget her fucking name now. The one, the sort of the woman with the glasses and the ginger hair. Forget her name. They go to defeat this Septentrian that's in space, and in a scene very, very reminiscent of Evangelion, when Rey throws the Lance of Longinus and kills the angel that's in space. Very reminiscent of that, almost a carbon copy of that, if you will, of that. Irie's demon gets a big sort of lance thing, throws it at this Septentrian, destroys the core, and they think, oh, that's it, it's dead. And as they're going back to the base in the car, because they go there in a car, they realise, oh, hang on a minute, the shell of the Septentrian is falling to Earth, and it's going to flatten the city. So they're like, evacuate everyone. They evacuate all the members of GIPS. But it flattens the city, and all the people that are in the skyscrapers, they all get, and all the buildings, they get killed, and all that shit. And Hibiki gets really pissed off, because Hibiki wasn't in that battle. He gets really pissed off with Yamato. Is Yamato his name? I think that's his name. Yamato, sort of the boss of GIPS, saying, "Oh, you knew this would happen," and he's like, "Yes, I knew it would. I knew its And Yamato's like, "Yes, I knew its capability. I knew that would happen." And he's like, "Oh, you bastard!" And then there's this really weird scene where Yamato, for some reason, throws like a dinner party, and it's really weird because he's like saying he basically says during this dinner party, anyone who doesn't follow me will die after the 7 days. Anyone that doesn't stick with me all through this, after the 7 days, you'll die. You'll die. And he says, and everyone's like, oh, well, we'll defeat all the Septentrians and then it'll all be fine and we can all go home. And Yamato's like, well, doesn't quite work like that. After we've defeated all the Septentrians, I think he says something. He says something like the chosen few. I can't remember if that's exactly what he says, but something like that. We'll go to meet Polaris. Something like the survivors will go and meet Polaris, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's something like that. They said they're going to meet this Polaris. They're like, who's this Polaris? Is he a god? And they're like, oh, what? They're trying to work out, who's this Polaris? And then, so he says that, and then after he says that, and then after that he says the line where he says, anyone who doesn't follow me will die. And he goes to get in the elevator, and Hibiki follows him into the elevator, and he starts, saying, oh, you're using people for your advantage, or you're trying to do this, and all this bollocks, right? And Yamato says to him, Hibiki, you will stay by my side until the end, or something like that. So for the rest of the series, it would seem, the last 4 episodes, Hibiki is going to be Yamato's bitch and do anything that he says. That's what it seems to me. So it's going to be fucking epic. And then after that, there's a scene with Nita, and she's looking at her phone and she's all crying, saying, "Oh yeah, I want to go home," and all this shit. And this woman comes in. I can't remember her name, Motoko or something. Can't remember, something like that. She comes in. She says, "Oh, can I speak to you?" And Nita's like, "What is this about?" And then it's Motoko. I think that's her name. Comment down below if I haven't got her name right. I think that's what her name was. Says to her, "Right, Nita, tomorrow you will die for us." And that obviously goes back to the time when, you know, the professor was looking at the screen and she says, Nita will be the sacrifice. So Nita's sacrifice, I assume, is going to happen in episode 10 next week. Oh my god, yes. So she says, "Nita, tomorrow you will die for us." So it's going to be. And let me tell you now, if Nita dies, Hibiki is going to fucking flip out. He is going to lose his shit if Nita dies. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be brilliant. This Devil Survivor 2, I'm sorry, I came into at the very beginning when I started watching Devil Survivor 2, I thought, oh, this is probably going to be a show that I start watching and drop. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but fuck me. Devil Survivor 2 is fucking awesome. The only show, and this is just my opinion, in my opinion, the only show that's better than Devil Survivor 2 is Attack on Titan. That's the only show that's better than Devil Survivor 2 is Attack on Titan. So, fucking me. Devil Survivor 2, shit is going to go down in episode 10. Mark my words. Mark my words.